startup equity. That's another thing that's confusing. You get this compensation package with your equity as part of that. Usually come in, your salary is just below what is market rate for that area, for that role. So it's a little bit lower on the lower end. And so you get equity options, you get ISOs that start vesting when you start, and a cliff period at 1 year, and then the remaining of those start to mature and vest every month, a portion of that up until they're fully vested. And I had no idea what I was getting into whenever I got my equity. I didn't have enough money to exercise them when the vesting period was over. And then when I tried to, I was told I was going to have to pay this ginormous amount of alternative minimum tax. I was like, whoa, hold on. I'm not getting any money from this. I'm just buying my options. I'm not realizing the gain. I'm not a high net worth individual. I'm at the time was middle class with a family of 4 with a mortgage. I can't pay because of the value of the stock versus my strike price. If that gain was over, I think like $150,000 in that year, you had to pay tax on that. But I didn't sell them. I didn't receive anything. Nothing was realized. And who could I sell it to? I don't even know who I could sell it to, but yet the IRS says you have to pay it. So I'd never exercised them until I left. When I left, I started looking into my equity more in depth to try to figure out, how do you sell these things? How do you realize gain from this equity that you can't sell in the stock market? It's a private company with a mile of regulations that the company can say yes or no to, and approve the buyer that you find, or all these things. So figured out all that, and then finally looked into, well, if I'm going to sell it, who's going to buy it? So I looked into those secondary market websites, the Hivves, the Forge Globals, the EquityB, EquityZen. Some of them are exercise loans versus straight up buying it. So they'll give you the money to exercise. So right there, 50% or maybe a little bit more, probably closer to 60% of the value goes away in fees and interest and sharing with the person that helped you with that exercise loan. The other sites out there are more like an auction marketplace. You put up that you have something to sell and someone's interested in buying, they match you up, and then you negotiate your terms and price and go through the whole rigmarole. And then no one wants to buy equity in a startup company, which is risky, at a low value. It's not attractive to an investor to buy something of a low value. I mean, to me that's high, but to an investor and in the secondary market, that's low. And so one person doing that is not attractive. You don't have enough value to sell. And the other thing is they charge a high fee. And if you count the percentage fee, the taxes, and then the flat fee, you're up to about 21% gone just for the pleasure of selling it. Not the pleasure, but the ability to sell, which I thought that was high, and I didn't want to pay that either. And so I kept trying to figure out what to do, how do I do this? And so I kind of discovered a way of selling my options, my shares. Actually, there were options at the time. So what I did was I got 30 of my closest friends that had left, and we took all of our individual equities, individual options, and we put them together. We collectivized them so that we could sell them as a tranche. So that opened up a lot more interest from an investor. I think it was total was like $14 million of like a collective group and the total amount of equity. And we were able to sell it relatively easy. That got the interest of a VC firm that was looking to buy common stock. Common is there's no voting rights, maybe 10 to 20% discount off the price of preferred. And so we were able to sell it. It was individual transactions for each one of us, but as a collective cohort, it was one approval by the board and the company to say yes or no. All these people in the group, it's all approved. And so we were able to sell. The benefit there was one board vote, one approval, instead of 30 individual ones. So the administrative burden was taken down. 30 people came off the cap table. 30 individuals came off the cap table and one entity went back on, consolidated their capitalization table, made it simpler. Less entries means simple. And it administratively streamlined the process for the company. So back in January, thinking about that, and I was like, oh my gosh, This could be its own startup. This could be its own thing, helping startup employees sell their equity by collectivizing their equity into cohorts. It will increase the total relative value because everyone's combined together. The administrative burden of the company is lowered because you can take off however many people in that cohort off the capitalization table and have one investor buy it. And then approvals are easy, one approval. And then the investors are more interested in buying because it's a higher value. So it's a win-win-win across the board. And so right now, I call it Make Equity Accessible. It's part of Startup Anthology, the collective equity platform to help people sell their equity in a startup. If you go to the website, there's a couple of surveys I'm taking. I'm just trying to take information right now to help figure out how to build a platform. It's basically just market research, looking for what do buyers and investors look for when they're buying pre-IPO startup companies. So there's a form for them. And right now working with experts, consultants, attorneys, developers to help figure out how this is structured and then build a platform off of that that'll help startup talent sell their equity. It doesn't have to be just an employee. A founder has a hard time selling their common shares as well. It's a little bit easier for them because they usually do it, during a fundraise, but also sometimes they don't, and then they're stuck with it and they want to realize the gain as well. So it helps everybody. So that's kind of just in a nutshell. I'm telling you just about Startup Anthology, a little bit of my background and what I'm working on with this equity collective thing. So thanks a lot for letting me ramble. And yeah, if you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, go to startupanthology.com for more information.